Bismillah Rahman Rahim. Assalamu alaikum once again. Now, candidates, welcome back. We have covered the B part, we have covered the C part calculation, and now it's time to handle the theoretical aspect. Before handling the theory, a quick review. With the part C, what we have covered, with the part B, what we have covered, the premium calculation. And here, about the premium calculation, there's a deadlock because the acquirer is offering the premium maximum by 30%, but the strand company asking to get the premium for this negotiation based on excessive earning, that is 40%. So 30-40, it's a deadlock. And for part C, we have first calculated the premium percentages that would be expected by strand based on different mode of payments. The mode of payments offered by have to strand: number one, cash offer; number two, cash plus bond. But we have also incorporated cash plus shares. So initially, or apparently, the highest percentage reflecting 31%, that's cash plus bond. And the least percentage, that is 20%. And the middle is cash plus share offer. So every mode of payments having their own dynamics, that's some plus point or minus point. Now it's time to cover the theoretical aspect. We will start the theoretical aspect first from the part C, because we need to complete the part C. Quickly read the requirement. Calculate percentage premium per share that the strand company shareholder will receive under each acquisition payment method, and justify with explanation which payment method would be most acceptable to them. Verb is important. Here examiner asking justify with explanation. Means whatever the payment mode you are discussing, you need to explain first, and whatever the final comment you are making, your final comments must be justified based on the detailed explanation you are making with the context you are writing. What does that actually mean? We will cover this. Now, come on. Have come the theoretical aspect. Number one, the time management. Before starting, have to cover the planning, time management for 4 marks. 3 to 4 marks. You have 9 minutes in total. And you know that first of all, you have to cover, at least you have to spend 2 minutes for planning and 7 minutes for wartime. Yes. Now, marks management. First, highlight the verb. No? Verb is important. Explain, but your explanation must be in a manner to justify. Justify your points. Now, the very important point. What and how much to write. Actually, the writing about how much, it depends on the marks and also about the completion. But here, what to write. About what to write, what to write, students, a very important point. You need to care that what is the type of question this. This is not the type of question where you need to explain some concept. For example, the part A of the question is about concept, synergy, explain synergy, and then connect with the case. We will cover with the next video. This is not about the concept explanation. This is something about you need to extract the information from the answer or the calculation you have made and the data available within the question. So extract the information and then comment. Extract information from the calculation you have made plus the data within the question, and then make comment. So this is basically a type of question. It's not about the conceptual, any concept, typical concept to discuss. So this is one of the type of question where you handle the things accordingly. So you have to be focused. You have to be focused. Must have to focus with the calculation you have made and the theoretical aspect. Yes, this is a type of question examiner examine multiple times. The mode of consideration, and you need to practice the thing accordingly that you become used to how to handle the interpretation or the comments with this section. Now it's time exactly, sir, do let us know what the content we need to write here. First of all, be conscious that we have to cover all the payment modes, all three payment modes. Don't miss it. And make final comment. Number one. Number two, and your answer must be very much clear. So you have to make separate paragraphs for each method. For each method must be separate explanation, separate para. And the very important thing is that whenever you wanted to start writing for anything, for example, you start here with the cash method. So what's the first statement I should write? So here, very simple, start always with the facts of answer. For example, you make a heading cash offer. You can say that with the cash offer, Stand company will be able to get 20%, which is the least with all among three. That's the first step. That is so-called interpretation of facts. Interpretation of facts. Number one. Whenever you start with the mode of consideration, so you have to mention both. You have to mention for each method the plus point and any minus point. I can say advantage and disadvantage. Advantage and disadvantage. Furthermore, you have to be very much aware that this question, this explanation, the requirement in fact, here only with respect to target company strength, but you also need, or you also add limited points for have as well. Also need to add limited point of have as well. Because the success of the mode of consideration, acceptance, that is the acceptance of a strand, or the success of the strand company mode of consideration is viable where have is also ready to pay, or it's also justified for the have as well. So even examiner asks for the target company point of view, but you need to incorporate a limited point, not very detailed. Yes, once examiner examine, particularly mention, you have to cover the gain, premiums, all these explanations with respect to acquire and acquire both, then you have to cover accordingly. Moreover, don't forget the very important point that is in this question, strand expecting the premium of 40%, 40%, whereas have wanted to pay premium 30%. So whatever the mode of consideration, here mode of consideration, nothing the mode of consideration meets with the 40% target, but nearest most, the maximum premium, that is 31% cash plus bond. This is important. That's C part is linked with the B part with this context. Candidates, what I said to earlier, that this type of question, it's about the commenting within the case. It's not about the concept. So you must have to be very much vigilant with respect to what the information available with the question and what the calculation you have made. You must be very much careful about it, about these type of question. Next point that you must be very much careful that whatever you will write, don't ignore the professional skill marks or professional skills demonstration. This is a 25 marks question, so you need to demonstrate something about analysis and evaluation, commercial acumen, and skepticism. About PSM, some of the professional skills automatically indulging when you are writing the question. For example, let's suppose about analysis and evaluation. So for analysis, one of the important point is that collect the data and information in the right manner for the explanation. So here, for the analysis matter, you will collect the data from the spreadsheet that you have covered and also some data from the question. So this point, how to collect the data and explaining the answer, it's automatically indulging some professional skill marks. And of course, when you are finalizing your answer, so your final answer is actually justified based on the explanation you have made above. So justified answer, it's actually the reflection of right evaluation and reflect, and automatically you will be able to get the professional skill marks related to analysis in evaluation. So one of the point. Further details we will discuss once cover the question. Number two, about the commercial acumen. Let's suppose skepticism, for example. So when we are making a final comment, so with the final comment, for example, if you say that the final comment, cash and bonds are most um, attractive method, attractive mode of consideration with respect to strength and have both. If you answering that question, but you have to incorporate some other points. However, and then all the above analysis based on the calculations and the calculations having some estimations like the synergies, like the PE ratio. So having some limitation, we must have to aware about that like this. So this criticalness or challenging the information or raising the question, that's reflecting the point, skepticism. And of course, some limited points we will add other related to question, but out related to the question, but additional points that's not available in the question. That's some outside point, um outside points we need to explain here. We need to incorporate here, but be conscious that that should be very much relevant for the question, and be conscious about the time as well to demonstrate our ability about the commercial acumen. That's practical. Commercial acumen, it's not only about um, constraints, identify opportunity, but also incorporating some add-on points to push the things that's become practical. For example, if we are commenting with respect to cash offer, if we are commenting with respect to cash offer, so cash offer, if you are a strand company, cash offer, it's a like of offer where the returns is very much certain, immediate, and definite, as compared to shares. As compared to shares, for example, if I offer you cash $5, as compared to I'm saying that no, accept the shares of $5, but our negotiation is still going on, and 1 month times will take for the negotiation. I'm giving you just a random example. So what do you think about the cash? If you accept the cash, the $5, that's immediate, that's certain, that's $5, definite. But if we are discussing about the shares, that I will provide you the shares and the negotiation time is 1 month, so that $5 shares may be fluctuating during our negotiation, or in case of acquisition, if we are considering post acquisition share price, so may be possible the price we determine now for the shares may not be exactly after the acquisition. The stock market uh, perceive or incorporate the information of acquisition within the share price in a different manner, and maybe dropped, maybe fall. So cash is a certain value that the acquirer will be able to get. So this is a practical point with the comparison. Yes. But another practical point, if acquiree, the target company, accept the cash, if acquiree accept the cash, immediately he or she will face, the shareholder will face the tax burden. The tax burden. So about the tax burden, the information not available within the question, but you have to add on the point to demonstrate the ability about commercial acumen as practicality of the case. Whatever we are discussing, it should be practical. The other points also considerable here. So like this, we will discuss these points about the analysis, evaluation, skepticism, and commercial acumen when we are drafting the answer. Now, I am supporting you about the drafting of answer. supporting points for drafting. For drafting the answer. For example, number one, cash, cash offer. You will start to write the answer that start with interpretation. This is the lowest return. Refer this. This is the lowest return. Start with facts. Lowest return, that's 20%. But you need to incorporate one plus point. But this is certain as compared to shares. Certain, or you can use the word immediate, definite. Plus you have to incorporate but tax burden. Incorporate tax burden. So for analysis, for analysis and explanation here, your answer is very much justified. Or I must say that you have covered the complete dimensions. You have covered the complete dimension of the question. That's complete. All dynamics of the question incorporates. For example, you start with the interpretation, the cash offer. You have incorporated the plus point. You have that's a certain, immediate, definite, and or also incorporate the minus point. So whoever the user of your draft will easily pick all the aspects. What is this about? The lowest return. What I will get, or what I will get advantage, the plus point, certain, definite. But the negative point, that's a tax burden. So that is how you have to craft your answer. Number two, another point, cash plus shares. Start with interpretation. Medium return, that is 25%. Medium means as compared to all three, this is the medium return. But the plus point, you will become owner of the company, owner of have. This is the plus point. But negative point, share price, if you accept this offer, share price may fall, and not exactly right now. Right now the price is 9.24. Maybe it's not 9.24 once you accept the offer. The market perceive in a different manner as compared to the analysis you are making. So again, we covered all dimensions about the cash and shares, plus, minus, and start with the facts. Cash plus bonds. Here examiner wants expect a more detail. Number one, highest return. Start with interpretation, highest return. But some another important points over there. The convertible bonds, assume that you are strand. Very technical point, huh? The convertible bonds, if you accept, its value is 100. Its value is 100. Convertible bonds, value 100. And if you accept convertible bonds as a strand, so over 6 years, you will be the debt holder. But after 6 years, you will become, if the condition favorable, assuming condition will favorable, you will become the shareholder. of the 12 have company. So, as convertible debt holder, you need to think that I have conversion option. Very technical point, and very important conversion option of 12 have shares. So that means the convertible you accept right now value 100 and it's denominated with 12 have shares. So actually you are the holder of have company shares, option holder. You are the option holder of have company shares with 8.33 per share. You are the option holder of 8.33 per share. Even after 6 years, share price will increase of the have, but you will exercise by 8.33. In fact, now the have share price is equal to 9.24. So you have an option to exercise this share price right now 8.33, where the share price now 9.24. That means as convertible debt holder, you have the option having intrinsic value, so called in the money. In the money means having intrinsic value. How much intrinsic value? Leave it. Intrinsic value now. So this is the point you have to consider. Based on this, the plus point, if have share price increases, convertible bonds price will also increase. That is a plus point if you accept the convertible bonds. If you accept this option, the convertible bonds, you will secure with cash plus 6-year interest. That's you will secure with this bare minimum amount. 31% return. 31% return is equal to most closest to strand demand. That is 40%. These are the plus point. But consider some minus point as well. Consider some minus point. What are the minus point here? What are the minus point? It's not about the minus, it's about the concern. It's related to concern. If you analyze the situation here, so the cash offer, the strand will be able to receive 5.72 cash. Cash plus shares, the cash plus shares include the cash 1.33. 5.72 cash offer, 1.33 cash plus share offer. But cash plus bond having least cash 1.25. So that is a concern point. Here cash amount is most lowest as compared to other. So this is what about means we need to incorporate all the dynamics. That's important. Plus and minus both. And don't ignore about the have. You need to incorporate the some points related to acquirer perspective as well. Like when we write with respect to the cash, so we can mention here that if this offer accept by the strand, the pure cash, that the impact towards the have management having some burden to arrange the cash immediately, and maybe the implications of the debt burden for the sake of arrangement of cash because the huge cash required here. But as compared to, sorry, for if you consider the third one, so for third one, for have there are the plus point that lowest cash arrangement as compared to other two, or other as compared to exclusive cash. But one more advantage, if stand accept cash plus shares, or sorry, cash plus bonds, so as compared to cash plus shares, no immediate dilution of equity shares. No immediate dilution of equity shareholding. And that is what I personally think. If we are writing with these context, it's not about the this supporting what's not about the planning matter. It's a support from my side to you people how to handle the thing. But definitely one another point that's called the final comment. The final comment. The final recommendation. The statement must be very sharp sentence. Start with sharp sentence. For example, you have covered all three above dimensions. What's your feeling that's most suitable? For example, here we will start wording that apparently cash plus bonds is the most suitable method with respect to, or most suitable mode of payments with respect to strength and have as well. That's a clear statement. Then which then attach some logical argument. Logical argument like with respect to strength that is nearest to premium 40%, then have come and have with lowest cash burden. Although you can mention that if you have already covered these points earlier, so you can make a reference. Make a reference that, as we mentioned above, that's most beneficial for the strength to the nearest. That means the nearest for that this payment mode is of 31% return is nearest to the premium of 40%, and having have also have advantage as refer above. But both of these statement is equal to, actually these statements these statements are logical, are called logical argument. It's not logical or justified. But with the final comments, you have to incorporate these type of wording. However, and however with raise some issues related to assessment you have made, sorry, the methods or information you used for calculation, like like synergy estimation or PE ratio estimation, all these are the points. And this is what how to comment the answer accordingly. So that is what all over the support from my side. Now it's time to read a particular question. I strongly suggest that you must have to read this part first. Read it quickly with the comment I have attached here. Pause the video and read this document. At least spend 1 minute quick reading and then start. Then I will start it accordingly. So I hope that you have read the part of the question. So this is what all about that I have discussed with you. That's number one. The pure number one, allocate the answer according to uh, the mode of consideration and then make a final recommendation. So number one, cash offer, start with interpretation. The pure cash offer have a lowest return. Here I mentioned that start with interpretation, but give immediate and definite return. That's plus point to stand company. Don't ignore to mention the name of the company. Connect with the case. Demonstrate that I'm connecting with the case. Shareholders, stand company shareholders, but tax burden matter cannot be ignored. That's a minus point. The option may also be put significant burden on have to arrange funds possibly through increased debts. So also incorporate a little points related to the acquirer as well. Cash plus shares, cash and share offer give the return between the two options, medium return. Although return is lower, stand shareholder become owner of half company and have the option to sell equity immediately. However, share price may fall between now and when payment acquisition made. If this happens, then return to stand company shareholder will be lower. So there's some plus point, some minus point. You can mention the half company 1 point here, but not incorporating very much. That in this case, although the half company have lower burden of cash as compared to cash offer, but immediate dilution of the proportion in equity shares. Moreover, convertible bonds, first mention all these points, the intrinsic value, all these things that we have already covered. And this actually the information reflect the practicalness of the case, or you are demonstrating that yes, need to incorporate some practical consideration. That's commercial acumen. This is it's not about that we offer the convertible bond. The strength the target company will perceive the convertible bonds with this context, with a commercial reality, with a business sense. That's called intrinsic value. Then the benefit, it's about if the share price increases, the convertible value increases. Um, Interest, they will, the secured payment of interest they will get over the period of time, 31.3% maximum premium, which, sorry, 31.3% return here, which is close to the maximum premium. And as compared with other methods and acquirer perspectives, the cash offer here are least, that's a minus point. And here you show your consent. This may make more attractive option have shareholder, although their shareholdings will be diluted under this option, not happen for some time. So here, with respect to have, it's also attractive. You can also add the point of the cash as well, least cash burden over have company, and make a final recommendation. Make a final recommendation. Final recommendation, what you mention here, apparently sharp sentence. Start with sharp sentence. Apparently the mixed offer attracts both, not the bath, both have an strength. Sharp sentence. Then you add with some logical arguments. Add some logical argument. It is likely that strength shareholder manager continue the work with in have company. With this point, if logical argument is that it is likely that strength company shareholder who willing to continue work with have will accept mix and bonds. They therefore get maximum their current return and also potentially gain when the bonds are converted into shares. Sir, why final comments only about strength? Because here the question main concern about strength. If you add one line for have, it's not the mistake for you. About the professional skill marks, start with the sharp sentence. Your recommendation must be justified. Although above all explanations are justified. It's called justification. But attach one logical reason. Here the logical reason that if have company wanted to with the highest return and wanted to continue with the have, then they should accept this. So I must say that all the discussion is objectively assessed by using the information in the question and the calculation we have done with the spreadsheet. But your recommendation is not complete until unless you incorporate some skepticism, skepticism points related to challenge the informations. So here it should also be noted that maximum premium calculated have used what appears to be subjective adjustment of P/E ratio. The assumption that annual excess earning will occur in perpetuity, that's calculation we have made. Neither of this may hold in reality, which may affect the maximum premium payable or the final decisions. That is called raise some questions and skepticism. So you have to end with this type of diplomacy matter. So this is what about how to handle the theoretical aspect of this part of question. This is not only about this part of question, this is also about how to handle the theoretical aspect with overall AFM including PSM. So I hope you are clear about this. Thank you very much. Take care a lot. Assalamu alaikum.